At the base of Japan's majestic Mount Fuji lies a place known to the world as Aokigahara, the Sea of Trees. But beneath its serene beauty lurks a chilling reality. Often referred to as the Suicide Forest, this ancient woodland harbors more than just the spirits of the lost. It conceals secrets, mysteries, and, in this particular case, an unsolved murder that has left investigators puzzled and the public haunted by questions that may never be answered. Tonight, we explore the dark heart of Aokigahara, where myth, mystery, and murder collide. Part 1: Aokigahara, more than a forest. Aokigahara, a forest so dense with trees that wind struggles to weave through them, is a place both revered and feared. For centuries, it has been cloaked in folklore. Spirits known as eerie, ghosts trapped in the physical world due to violent or unresolved deaths, are believed to wander here, yearning for peace. But more recently, Aokigahara has become infamous as Japan's suicide forest, drawing hundreds each year to its dark embrace. The forest's reputation stems not only from the tragic souls who end their lives here, but also from the eerie silence that hangs like a shroud over the land. This unsettling quiet, devoid of wildlife, creates an atmosphere that feels otherworldly. Yet, amid the sorrow and ghost stories, Aokigahara holds a deeper mystery. A mystery not of suicide, but of murder. In 2019, the body of a young man was discovered deep within the forest, in a location so remote that only the most determined explorers could reach it. His identity, cause of death, and the reasons why he was there remain shrouded in shadow. Part 2: The Discovery. In October of 2019, two experienced hikers ventured into Aokigahara, intent on exploring one of the forest's more secluded areas. Armed with maps, compasses, and a will to venture deeper than most, they were prepared for a journey into one of the darkest corners of the forest. But what they found that day was not what they had expected. At first, they thought it might be one of the many abandoned campsites left behind by those who had intended to take their own lives. But upon closer inspection, it was far more sinister. Under the tarp, they found a body, mangled, decomposing, and, chillingly, tied with crude knots around the wrists and ankles. Authorities were called immediately, and soon, Aokigahara became the center of a murder investigation. But who was this man? And why had he been murdered in such a remote and infamous location? Part 3: The Victim No Name. At first, we thought it might be a simple case of a suicide turned suspicious. After all, Aokigahara has seen so many deaths that finding a body here is not unusual. But this was different. The bindings, the position of the body, and the fact that the man had no ID, no phone, no personal belongings, this was no ordinary death. The victim was in his 20s, dressed in what could be described as casual hiking clothes. No one came forward to identify him. Days passed, then weeks, and despite a nationwide search for clues, the man's identity remained a mystery. No match was found in missing persons databases, and though police scoured Aokigahara for any clues, they were met with only dead ends. It was as if this young man had simply appeared out of thin air, his life, his story erased, leaving only his death behind. Part 4: A Sinister Connection. As investigators delved deeper, they began to wonder if this murder could be connected to Aokigahara's dark past. The forest has long been associated with death, not only from suicides but from ancient traditions of ubasut, a practice where the elderly or sick were left in the forest to die during times of famine. Could the victim's death have some connection to this sinister history? Or was the location chosen for another reason? Local legends speak of the forest as a cursed place where malevolent spirits prey upon the living. Some believe that the forest is a portal between the world of the living and the dead, a place where souls are trapped, unable to move on. But could these ancient myths have influenced the actions of a killer? Or was the forest simply a convenient place to commit an untraceable crime? Part 5: Theories and Unanswered Questions. Despite extensive investigations, the case remains unsolved to this day. No suspect was ever found, and the identity of the victim is still unknown. Theories have run wild, from the plausible to the supernatural. Some believe the victim was a foreigner who came to Japan specifically to die in Aokigahara. His murder a tragic coincidence. Others suggest the involvement of a cult or even a serial killer who uses the forest as their hunting ground. And then there are those who insist that the forest itself is to blame, that it drives people to madness or worse. There's something about Aokigahara that's unlike any other place on Earth. People don't just come here to die, they come here because they feel drawn to it, like the forest calls to them. And maybe, just maybe, this murder is part of something bigger, something darker. Part 6. Final thoughts. The forest holds its secrets. Even now, the sea of trees remains an enigma. With each passing year, it claims more lives, its ancient trees standing witness to both the natural and unnatural. The body of the young man found in 2019 is but one of countless mysteries this forest conceals. But what really happened to him that day? Was it a ritual killing, an unfortunate encounter, or something else entirely? Until more answers emerge, we are left with only the questions and the unsettling knowledge that Aokigahara continues to hold its secrets close, as silent as the trees that guard them. Thank you for joining us on this journey into one of Japan's most haunted and mysterious locations.